You know, boys and girls, I dead ass, I hate to say it, I've played a lot of gacha games. I really have. I can't even keep up with the amount of gacha games that I've played. You know, I've played all the mainstream ones like Woo-Wah, Genshin Impact, Zenless Zone Zero, Honkai Star Rail. But then I've played games that are under the radar or not as popular like Reverse 1999, Chaos Zero Nightmare, which I'm still playing, Etheria Restart, AFK Journey, Seven Knights Rebirth, and a plethora of other gacha slop titles. I even fucking played Jujutsu Kaisen Phantom Parade. Holy shit, that game was a whole pack of ass with its gacha system. But I'm telling you this catalog of games that I have underneath my wing, not to say I'm the gacha god. No, I would never do something as cringe as that, guys. But to tell you that I understand the language of these gacha monetary incentives. I understand when a game is comparable to another game's monetary incentives, or worse, or competitive. And I want to talk to you and shoot it to you straight about Arknights Endfield. What does it look like in terms of its gacha system and comparatively to its peers, which would be Genshin Impact and Wuthering Waves in the mainstream space? Let's face it, boys, this is now the next AAA quality, big dick investment over the years game, visual stunning graphics in an open world made to capture a bunch of brain rotted gacha individuals as well, hopefully. The mainstream space as well. They sponsored Asmongold and gave him the only account out of all beta users that was fully loaded with all characters, all weapons, made him skip the fucking ridiculous amount of monumental tutorials. I'm 20 hours into the game and I still have tutorials. And they did that because they obviously want to break out into the mainstream space as well. Say all this, it's a hell of an intro to say I want to shoot it to you fucking straight. How bad is this shit really? Are people kind of like blowing it over the top, or is it actually dog shit, or is it maybe better than they're giving them credit for? That's what we're here to do. So let's get into it. Before we start this, I just want to vent a little bit. I actually hate that I have to explain the difference between three polished turds. You know what I mean? It's actually it's like a headache. It's like, bro, look, man, this pile of shit, it's just a little bit less green than this pile of shit over here. That's what I feel like I'm doing right now, but we're going to do it anyway. All right, so we've got Genshin Impact, Wuthering Waves, and Arknights Endfield. Genshin Impact, you have a 0.6% chance of getting a 6-star character. You have a 90 pity mark where you're going to guarantee yourself some kind of 5-star character, not 6-star, 5-star character if you didn't get fuck all for the prior 89 pulls. It's a 50-50 chance, though, of you getting that limited character they're promoting you. If you lose it, well, then now you got to start over, but you're guaranteed at any point in time that screen goes gold again. You're guaranteed that character. This is the infamous 50-50 system that came in with this dumbass game. All right, now on average, okay, when we're talking about the vast majority of players who lose 50-50s, you're going to land somewhere between here because Genshin Impact has this system that's called soft pity. And where it begins is usually 15 pulls before the maximum pity. So, you have your maximum pity, which is 90. Well, at the 75 pull mark, if you do another pull, that means that's a 76 pull. This is now the soft pity zone. And the chance of getting a 5-star is no longer 0.6. I don't really know the exact one, but I would say based off of my experience and everybody else's experience, it jumps up a big jump because usually you're expecting the screen to immediately go gold. So I would say it's probably sitting somewhere between 30% to like 40%, somewhere in between there because it goes gold a lot. And this usually lasts from 76 to like all the way up to 80. But hey, there's been times where people go all the way up to 80 because their luck is so dog shit. That's why I say on average, we're looking at 152 to 175 pulls. If you have the worst fucking luck of all time, you might go past 175 if you lose that 50-50. Wuthering Waves, exact same concept, exact same identical polished turd. Wuthering Waves looked at Genshin and said they're doing a 0.6. Let's do a 0.8 just to one up them just a little bit. Very minuscule increase, but at least people can go, our system's better at the end of the day, objectively so. 80 pity instead of 90 pity. 50-50 guaranteed if you lose. Same exact shit. On average, though, because they went down 10 and they went up, here, on average, 132 to 155 pulls per character if you were to lose that 50-50. Now, the one redeeming quality of these two games is if you get lucky and you get it a little early, you don't have to worry about anything. You know it's guaranteed. But at the end of the day, a 50-50 system is still a fucking pile of shit. Never forget that. Arknights Endfield, how does it fare against these two? 0.8. Now, I'm going to be honest. Arknights Endfield, you guys let me in the beta. You've sponsored my content for the stream. I appreciate that. But that is not going to take away the fact that I have lost respect for you guys already. Why? Well, don't get me wrong. I understand business. I understand you're looking at your peers in a competitive pricing manner and you're going, this is how we're going to do it. Let's look at what they're doing. But the fact that you couldn't even do what Wuwa did, which is just one up in a petty way, your competitor, you went the exact same percentage as Wuwa. Really, bro? Really? Holy fuck, you corporate scumbags can be greedy sometimes. Jeez, brother, how hard is it to go up 0.1? You could have 0.9. You could have made me give you a bit better lighting right now in this video. I'm like, see, look, 0.9. You know, 0.9 is Arknights Endfield. No, you went 0.8 like a fucking moron. So 0.8 is the exact same as Wuthering Waves. 80 pity, exact same as Wuthering Waves. Once again, they could have went to 75. They could have went to 70. They wanted to do the 80 pity shit just like Wuwa. 50-50 guaranteed at 120 pity. Yes, you'll notice that is a difference. So Arknights Endfield has a funny system called the spark system where they spark a firecracker up your asshole and convince you that they're giving you a warm bath. Well, the way this system works is if you don't get to the 120 pity mark, you still have a 50-50. All right, so this shit, it's hard not to laugh at this every time because I just think of people in the Stellasaur situation where they're like, I did another 50-50 and I lost that one too. Some guy was like, I did 3 50-50s and I lost all 3. It makes me laugh every time. But to be fair, and I did say I was going to be fair, if anybody's getting 3 50-50s before 120 pulls, your luck is fucking insane, and I don't think you should be bitching about losing 50-50s at that point, brother. You got 3 50-50s. You got 3 5-stars in a matter of 120 pulls. That's fucking insane in these games. It really is. But that said, it is annoying what I'm about to tell you next. I don't care if you lost 3 50-50s because the odds of you getting that aren't even supposed to happen. That's ridiculous. But this next part is a problem. So if you summon, and I can't believe just explaining it pisses me off. The amount of extra steps they put in their game pisses me off. If you make it to the 80 pull mark, lose your 50-50. You now have from 80 to 120. That's 40 more pulls. But if the banner ends before you make those 40 more pulls, all that shit you built up goes in the garbage disposal. It doesn't carry over. Yeah. Why did they do that? Like I told you, a bunch of greedy morons, ambitious, and their mouths are salivating at how much money they're going to make on launch. This happens every time. It never fails. It's not fucking rocket science, bro. Just make a good monetary incentive plan with none of this gacha garbage. I guarantee you your game will fucking explode. Where Winds Meet is literally doing this in real time, bro. No pay to win, no gacha garbage, unless it's cosmetics that don't affect the game at all. And they're killing it. You niggas never learn. I rest my case. So this is pretty fucking bad. It is, guys. No, I don't care about how irresponsible players are with this system. It's garbage that you have it in your game. It should carry over. You're already doing a scumbag 50-50 system. Let the shit fucking carry over or take it out entirely, bro. Take the 50-50 out. You're not going to let it carry over. If you don't do both, I guarantee you're going to lose a large market capture. You are. You're going to lose a lot of people just because of this garbage right here. Why? Why would you do that? I don't know. Anyways, pity doesn't carry over. Stay within 80 pulls. So if you don't summon past 80 pulls, yep, another fucking rule and condition. If you stay within 80 pulls, the pity does carry over. You see how stupid this sounds? It sounds so dumb. Last one. On average, 120 pulls per character if you lose the 50-50. This is the one redeeming quality of it all, right? At least when you look at these two, it's 132 to 155 in Wuwa, it's 152 to 175 in Genshin. At the worst case scenario, brother, you did less pulls than both of these games, provided some guy didn't get lucky in those games and get his shit a bit earlier and guarantee himself a pull. On average, we all got to face the music. It's actually better in Arknights Endfield, but this shit is fucking garbage. That's just the truth. It is. Now it's time to talk about the weapon banner system and how is it comparatively to Wuwa and Genshin. First and foremost, Genshin shit is still a whole pack of garbage. It used to be 50-50s nonstop, then they changed it to 50-50 one time, and then you're guaranteed the next. And now it's a 75-25, somewhere along the lines of there. Still fucking garbage when you consider the prices they charge for you to try and get a character with the garbage 50-50. And Wuwa, it is 100% guaranteed for you to get the weapon, but you have to go all the way to 80 pity, and it's a 0.8% chance per pull on this weapon banner. In fact, I even took a screenshot of this. You can see it right here, 0.8% chance all the way up to 80. It's fucking garbage. Okay, so even if it's guaranteed, which a Kudo bot will try to convince you this system is good, no, it's not. It's fucking garbage. Same problem as Genshin Impact. Those prices you're charging for these characters, for you to even have a weapon banner in your game, is a fucking joke. Arknights Endfield doesn't escape this criticism, all right? Let's be like real video games out there and give legendary weapons and good weapons away in the form of replay value. Go out there and fight a fucking boss and put a % chance of the weapon to drop. And then people are playing that boss all day long. Design good mechanics, good game, and people will fucking play your game. Spend money on it in other ways. No, you want to put it in the form of a weapon banner. All right, sorry for the tangent. Wuwa, 100% guaranteed, 0.8% chance, fucking garbage. Genshin, I think it's a 0.6% chance still on the weapon banner, and it's a 75-25. It's not guaranteed. And then finally, we have Arknights Endfield. Now, there's one more thing to point out here. In Wuwa and in Genshin, there's a standard weapon banner, which I think is the biggest fucking joke, because the standard weapon banner doesn't even give you like its own exclusive resource. No, you have to share it with the standard character banner. Like, bro, come on. And the funny thing is, the standard weapons aren't even that fucking good. They're usually highly inferior to the signature weapons. So yeah, there's that. In this game, they don't have a standard weapon banner. They have several standard weapon banners, boys. All right, but at least they are, and to be completely fair here, they are the signature weapons of the characters you are trying to play from the standard pool. Case in point, my boy here, and I'll go ahead and hop up out of here. This guy here is somebody I'm using, and I have a 6-star weapon on him right now, but it's not his signature 6-star weapon. No. That is gonna be right here. Now, the way that this works is you have to do 80 pulls or up to 80 pulls to try and get the weapon. And each one of these is a finite amount of pulls you can do. As you can see, I can only do 80 pulls if I want to do any of these weapons to try and acquire the weapon. That said, there's some cool things in here that I want to point out that Arknights Endfield is doing better than Wuwa and Genshin. Let's talk about the very first one. Here we go. View details. This game, per pull, remember when I told you Wuthering Waves has a 0.8% chance to get a fucking weapon? Well, you have a 4% chance, not a 0.8, a 4% chance to get a weapon in this game. The 6-star, the max rarity ones, 5 times the chance to get a 6-star or max rarity weapon. Now, I'm gonna be real with you. Normally, when people are like, you have a 0.8% chance, well, we got a 1% chance over here. I'm like, okay, bro, who gives a fuck? They're both garbage. I'm gonna be real with you. A 4% chance when you do a 10 pull, that's actually pretty damn solid in these parts. I'm gonna be real. A 4% chance times 10, it's a strong chance that damn screen can go red. That is actually pretty damn decent. Furthermore, it gets better. But it gets worse first. You have a 25% chance. Should the screen go red, you have a 25% chance of getting the weapon you're trying to get. Even the standard signature ones. So there's the bad news. I'm gonna be honest. You got 25. You don't got a 75-25 or 50-50. No, you got a 25% chance. So there's a trade-off for the 4% massive increase that they gave you there. Like I said, more or less the same garbage. It is what it is. But there are some pretty cool things, and I want to point those out. The pretty cool things are, also, this is another thing that's a massive edge. This is a 15% chance here in Arknights Endfield for the 5 stars, which is the 4 stars in Wuwa. Oh, here we go. 6% chance for a 4-star weapon drop. 6% versus 15%. Okay, so a lot better rates on the weapons over here. And it gets better. Here we go. Found it. If no 6-star weapon is acquired in 3 consecutive issues, that means 30 pulls, then a 6-star weapon is guaranteed on the 4th issue. On the 40th pull, you are guaranteed a 6-star weapon. Now, it's a 25% chance it's going to be the one you want, but at least you are guaranteed a 6-star weapon in 40 pulls. If you don't get it by that point, then on the 8th issue, you're guaranteed the weapon. Literally just like Wuthering Waves, guaranteed. So at the worst case scenario, it is the exact same as Wuthering Waves in terms of you acquiring. At the worst case scenario. But check this out. It's actually better than Wuthering Waves because this resource up here, the way you get it, this is the resource you need to do the 10 pulls. You get it by just doing character pulls. You don't have to like spend money to get this resource right here. You quite literally get it by doing character pulls. So you, in theory, or not in theory, honestly, technically, it's free. So the weapons all the shit you're doing, it's completely free. But there's a caveat here, and we're about to get into that shit. So obviously you have to pull on character banners, even if it's standard or limited, doesn't matter, either or. You're gonna get this for completely free, and then you come in here and you use it. Now, one would think that is like the 4% chance, the getting it in 40 pulls or getting it in 80 guaranteed if you still don't get it in that time span. All of that is infinitely better than Wuthering Waves and Genshin Impact, and I don't agree. In fact, I would say, holy shit, this being put into the whole monetary incentive, actually, it's more or less better than Genshin, or well, Genshin, fuck Genshin. It's more or less better than WoWA. It is, right? We put this in the ball. It's like, oh, whoa, hold on now. Now, this other shit's kind of garbage, but at least we ain't got to spend money on a whole nother weapon banner. That changes everything. Gamers. Now, I want to talk to you guys about this weapon banner system. But there's one thing, and I made sure that I fact-checked this, because I was like, holy fuck, this is actually pretty good. People are doom posting Arknights Endfield. The fact that there's pretty much not a weapon banner system that requires you to spend money, that's pretty fucking solid. There's a couple of things I want to show you, okay? First and foremost, this material, let's go ahead and fact check it real quick. Once again, if we come over here to the character banner, we go to details and we scroll all the way down. Let me find it. Boop, boop, here we go. If you get a 6-star operator, that's 2,000 of that arsenal ticket. It costs 1980 to do a 10 pull, right? If you get a 5-star operator, that's 200 of that arsenal ticket, and there's 20 here. I basically already did the math on all of this shit. If you do 120 pulls, that's literally, at the bare minimum, 2 6-star characters, right? So if you do 120 pulls, that's 4,000 of the arsenal ticket. That means that's a 20 pull. That's 2 10 pulls. And if you do 120 pulls, you are guaranteed a 5-star, just like you're guaranteed a 4-star in WoWA. You're guaranteed a 5-star operator. So that means that the bare minimum here, 120, that's 12 times 2, that's 2,400. That's another 10 pull. That's 30 pulls plus some change. Then a 4-star operator, which is a 3-star in the other games, you're guaranteed to get at least like 20 of them motherfuckers in 120 pulls. That's 20 times 2, that's 400. We're looking at about, like, dead ass, somewhere between 35 to 40 pulls of weapon pulls for free, no strings attached on the character banner. So 35 to 40 pulls means you're guaranteed a 6-star weapon in 120 pulls, 2 6-star characters and a weapon. That's actually not that fucking bad. But I noticed something in this game, and you let me know, other beta testers and other people, I could not find a conversion for the pulls you get in WoWA and Genshin. You know how in WoWA, you do all these pulls and then you go and you say, oh, fuck, I still didn't get anything. Let me go in the shop. In this conversion, you can usually save up over time to buy a dupe of a character, right? In this game, that shit is nowhere to be found, guys. At least not in the beta. It's nowhere to be found. And so all of that edge that the weapon banner had for free went out the window for me. Because I realized, well, if there's nothing to convert into pulls, there's this, right? This is the same thing as Genshin Impact. Every like patch update, you can buy your little 5 out of the shop. That's same shit as Genshin. In fact, it's inferior to WoWA because WoWA gives you 7 of these, 7 of the weapons, 7 of the standard. In this game, you have that, right? But right here, there is no buying a conversion. There is no buying more pulls towards the targeted banner with what your leftover currency is from getting 5 stars and 6-star characters. It just doesn't exist. And so I realized, there's the catch. So the weapon banner system that's free isn't really as free as you thought, because they took away your ability to get kind of like a return on your investment, if you will. They took that away, and instead they just put it towards the weapon banner. And so the weapon banner edge isn't really that much of an edge over Wuthering Waves provided with that. You see what I'm saying? The only thing that I can give it is that 4% increase on getting weapon versus the 0.8 in Woo-Wah. But like I said, remember I told y'all in my live stream, what do you think about the system, Smack? Oh, it's more or less the same garbage. It really is at the end of the day. And then you have this, the endpoint quota. This is gonna be the funniest shit. This is the Genshin Impact play. It's the last thing, boys, and then we'll be able to end this video. So I was trying to find where the fuck I get this from. And I looked down here, it's at source, acquisition center, potential exchange. I clicked on that. I was like, wait, what the fuck? That's the other shop. And I can't buy it anywhere. I was like, this isn't it. Where the fuck do I get this endpoint quota? And then I saw down here how it works. And at first I thought it was good. You can take the dupes of characters. Once you max dupe a character, you get X. If you get the character again, that's just, well, you can't do anything with that. You've already maxed them out. Well, they allow you to convert that into this currency. And this currency here can be used to exchange inside of these shops. But check this out, boys. If in order for you to get the purple one, the purple one only can be acquired after you've max duped a 6-star character. Yeah, the most expensive characters in the game. Once you max dupe a 6-star character, now you get endpoint quota times 10, boys. Yeah, 10 of them hoes. 10 of them is enough. Oh, wait, no, I lied. It's not even enough to buy these weapons out of this shop. It's half of enough. So in essence, this entire gacha system is fucking garbage. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Yeah, it is, boys. Anybody telling you else, well, I don't know what else to tell you. But that said, if you ask me what I think of Woo-Wah's gacha system, it's garbage. If you ask me what I think of Genshin's garbage system, it's garbage. At this point, you're just trying to look at which one is the better polished turd. And honestly, after everything I went through, some might say this is the better system over Woo-Wah. Some might say Woo-Wah's the better system over this. It really just fucking depends, but they're all in the same field of booty cheek chronicles, brother. I'll be honest with you. The problem with this game, though, is your pity doesn't carry over. And so I would say Woo-Wah's might actually be better than this based off of that no pity carrying over shit. And I would actually say Woo-Wah's better than this still, because you're the newest game on the block and you're trying to convince us to give our time to you on top of the time we're already given to these other gacha games or other games we're playing. Nah, I'm sorry, man. That's just not how this fucking works, at least not for people with common sense. Now, I do think that a lot of gacha players are going to just gloss over this shit and do what they do best, which is choke on sweaty balls that ain't showered in over 6 months. That's gacha garbage. The best thing anybody could do is tell this team nobody's playing their fucking game until they change this system and improve it drastically. I genuinely think that's the best possible feedback you can give to them, because right now they're trying to bend you over and fuck you. They are, guys. That's the absolute truth. It's unfortunate because I have had a complete change of heart in this game in terms of its gameplay system. I really enjoy it now. The factory system, I think, is a hit or miss, but it's a hitting for me now that I've learned it. The gameplay is fucking going hard. The exploration's going hard. I'm enjoying it. But if they don't improve this system, if it's the exact same as it is, it's going to be unfortunate, guys. It is. It's going to be unfortunate because it doesn't have to be that way. You can literally improve all the things I pointed out, and your game will be a fucking smashing hit for a lot of people. But unfortunately, I'm sure the corporate dumb fucks are going to do what they do best, and they're going to get too greedy. And this game's going to lose a market it could have captured. But I do think it's still going to succeed, overwhelmingly so. There's a lot of slop eaters out there, professional dick suckers, and they're still going to take this game the way it is, I would imagine. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Those, I believe, are all my thoughts. I picked this all apart, and we haven't even seen the prices of the shop. We also haven't seen the resource acquisition on a patch-to-patch basis. We don't know that, and I already told y'all, last thing I'll do is trust a gacha developer. If they're already doing all this shit, the last thing I'm gonna do is say, oh, well, maybe they'll give us something good. No, brother, hell no. We're not trusting them on that. And the fact that we still don't see shop prices, another credibility loss for me. You guys have had how many betas now, and you're launching, bro, we should have been saw them shop prices. The fact that you're withholding them is a red flag for me as well. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, dude, it never fucking fails, man. It never fails. Apart from all of that, though, I will say it's still not as bad as Stellasaur. Unless, well, you know what? We'll know once they disclose the shop prices and the resource acquisition. Because Stellasaur gave you a monthly pass that was worse than Genshin's, but their fucking pools cost almost twice as much as Genshin's. Then their top-up shop only gave you 56 pools, which ain't even half of 120, which is what you need to guarantee a character. Whereas Wuwa and Genshin, their double top up. We're talking about double top up. Their double top up effectively guarantee you at least a chance to win the 50-50. They guarantee you a full pity. So it's like Stellasaur was trash in 18 different ways, bro. Like monthly pass was worse than Genshin's. Double top up was less acquisition. And then I even heard the game didn't even give you a lot of pulls too when you were playing through it. Like that game was infinitely worse. If you're thinking this is as bad as Stellasaur, you're fucking wrong and you're actually doing a disservice because you're just not doing your due diligence. This is still better than Stellasaur for now. Oh, Stellasaur had a fucking weapon banner system with 75-25. And this game ain't half as polished. Or I'm sorry, it was polished. It ain't half the quality of these mainstream games. That was the other thing. It was like, brother, you are not even him. You ain't even got the torch. Brother, you ain't got the TORCH like that. What are you doing? So Stellasaur was a whole shit show. I did want to say that. But all right, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up, man. Peace.